Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here. So basically, we are talking about a couple of things in the previous video, and for the most part, every single one of them is still valid, which doesn't help matters. To be honest, I was hoping that we'd get a bit more clarity within this. We're looking for a couple of possibilities. We're still looking for that idea of that our wave one is looking to complete up into this zone, and then we could be looking for a bigger three-wave move to the downside here. This is still a valid option. You know, we could potentially start to see a move to the downside starting to play out. So the top end of this is a bit tricky on analyzing. So we also need to just be cautious of the fact that there is a couple of ways we can look at this. So we can also potentially, this could be a sneaky extended wave one in here, where this becomes a wave one, two, potentially we get a three, four, and then a five to the upside. And we could be looking for one more five wave structure up here. So we're going to discuss a couple of these different things that we're looking for here. We do need to be careful though, however, because as long as we continue to set these higher lows here, you know, this could be gearing up for a much bigger move here where potentially, you know, we could be looking at this wave starting to extend out, where we form an additional 1, 2 here. Potentially, we've got another 1, 2 in here, and this thing is getting ready to move up much higher. So we need to just be aware of these different counts and the different possibilities that we have, basically. So I'm still looking for this potential to actually come down here, you know, and look for this retest of these lower ranges. We were talking about that possibility that, you know, for as long as we sit in this zone here, this 29,559 to this 26,815, this whole move could still potentially be a fifth wave to the upside, and we could be looking for a three-wave move to actually come back and potentially even take these lows after we complete. Alternatively, for as long as we hold this zone, we could also argue that, you know, within here, this is a wave two, and we're getting ready to start to move to the upside. This could also be a B wave and a C wave, and then actually we look to break down as well. So we're going to have to give it a bit of space here and see exactly what the markets show us. We're sitting right in this choppy little area here. So I'm going to go over some of the counts we were talking about yesterday. Before we do that, I'm keeping an eye on this. Potentially, if we wanted to count this differently, we could count this as a wave one into this high here. This is a two. Then basically what I'd be looking for within this structure would be that within here we have a third wave, potentially into this high here, and then looking for that possibility that we find support in this yellow box region. So we did actually come down to that 0.236. And the way that we'd have to just look at this is basically that we've had a WXY here. This could still not be completed. We could actually form this as a W. We could move up and form another X wave here and push down lower and potentially come down towards this 26,612 area. That would still be a viable count because we wouldn't cross this wave one high. Invalidation of this would come by crossing 26,386. So what I'm looking for here is whether we maintain support. If we have turned around from our current location, you know, technically that could actually mean that we look to push up into this zone here of this 29,353 to this 28,10 region. So the key thing within this is basically once we complete this, we'd be looking for a deeper move back down here, looking for this to actually have a bigger three-wave structure to the downside. If we're looking for continuation, this could still be a viable count as a fifth wave as well, in which case, you know, what we'd then be looking for is potentially even coming deeper down than this green support box area, potentially into this zone here. I think I need to adjust this, but still looking for that potential of coming back down between this 20,707 to this 17,104. And what we'd be looking for basically within this is looking for a three-wave move, possibly back down into some of these key areas, and then looking to push to the upside. Though as long as we hold this low here, we need to be aware, you know, this could actually develop and extend out here. So we're gonna discuss that as well. But the top end of this move is tricky. It could be looking to extend out, but we don't have confirmation. Like I said, we need to just give it a bit of time. So within this, basically, like I said, I'm looking for that possibility that if we do form five-wave move to the upside, which then actually breaks down deeper, and potentially either A comes back into the zone of this 24 24,849 to this 21,256 at the at the maximum. I'd want to see this go. Potentially we could then start to see this move play out something like this and then look to move away. So I would be keeping an eye on this previous wave two here. This could be an interesting zone. If we do look to break down, that's sitting around this 23,933. So that's what we're looking for if we're looking for this as a extended wave one in here. It is also possible, like we said, that this could become a 1-2, and then we're looking to form another 1-2. So as long as we maintain this low here, we need to be cautious. This could actually look to get quite strong to the upside. So if this is the case, and we are looking for this potential of this to play out as a diagonal, oh sorry, as a not as a diagonal, but as a extended wave one. Potentially, this 28,746 will be an interesting zone for us to keep an eye on. So, within some of these other counts, we were looking for the possibility that within here, we could be looking for an extension to the upside in this fifth wave, where we look at this as a fourth wave triangle, potentially another 1-2 here, and then looking at this potentially as another 1-2 here. So if we do start to push up above this 29,726, this does start to become possible, where within this we'd have an additional 1-2 here, looking to push us up higher. So that would actually, if that does play out, we'd be looking for a move up towards this zone of this pretty much the same area, this 29,688. And what that would do is then that would effectively push this third wave target up even higher, because then we'd have another 1-2 in here, and then basically that would become a 3. We'd get a fourth and a fifth. We'd get another fourth and a fifth, and actually look to push it up higher than this target zone here. So we're going to have to just keep an eye on this. It is also, possible that within this we could be just still within a correction, and we're going to go over that idea because we're talking about that possibility. We could have had a running flat into here. So if we only move up towards the zone of this 28,704, we need to be cautious that actually this whole move up the top end here is not just a corrective structure. Where this becomes an ABC as a flat, we get another ABC up, and then we just form a bigger flat correction where we then break down for a five-wave move. So this is something we need to be on the lookout for as well. Really, what I want to see here is better structure developing. This is becoming quite a mess here. If we break to the upside, like I said, potentially we start moving above this 29,726 area, we can start looking at the potential that actually this is extending out even further. We could then potentially look for that possibility that could have a 1-2, another 1 and a 2 into here potentially. The problem is if we're looking at this as a triangle, we can't really look at it as a wave two. But yeah, when these moves start to extend out, sometimes we don't come back down as deep within the retracement. So it's something worth keeping an eye out on. If we do actually just continue to push up its potential, there is that extension going on. So the alternative things, we were also talking about this possibility here that we were looking at this extending out where this becomes a 1-2, and then we're still looking for that possibility of coming back down lower into this range of this 26,046 to this 24,794. Really, until we actually start breaking down and taking out these levels, like the 786 area and this wave two low point of 23,896, the the potential is there for this to just carry on extending to the upside. So this is going to be key zones from our current location up here. If we're going to treat this as a wave one into this high, this is going to be our key zone that we want to hold as support. We have actually managed to move back up into this channel, which we were previously in. So I will be keeping an eye on this bottom channel line if we do drop into it, which will be somewhere around this area of this 26,600, possibly a retest of this wave one high here. We do something like this, potentially we could start to move away again. So keep an eye on that. I think that's 382 if I turn it on. Yeah, so that 382 is up in this range, 26,581. So if we do move down here in a three-wave structure, A, B, and C, keep an eye on this 26,581. It could be a zone we could look to reverse up from. But yeah, at the moment, this is looking very choppy in here. We could be getting some kind of a triangle going on here. Um, within this, would have to be developing from here though, where this was an A potentially. Yeah, there's not enough information to really call it a triangle at this point, but I am keeping an eye out for that as well. The other thing we were talking about previously in the video was I actually could have completed into this high over here, depending on how we want to count this move. So if that's the case, we could then also potentially count this as an A, B, and a C into here, potentially looking for that flat and then looking for that possibility to actually come down lower. So this is why I'm saying, potentially we could be looking for a flat correction here. Yeah, this is all looking for that possibility that we could actually extend up here. So the problem here lies is if we start to lose this 24,794, then these bullish scenarios start to become really unlikely. Invalidation is only here at this 23,896. And even if we do break this low of this 23,896, potentially we could see something like this play out where we actually find support lower down here in this zone of this 23,294 to this 21,077. So until we actually start to break this structure, we have to maintain that this can continue to look to push to the upside here. Um, within this, what we've been aware of is we could still look at this whole move just as a three-wave move up. So if we're looking at even at this bigger potential here, if we only just form a three-wave move that looks to push up, I just want to make sure. Yes, so it's this one. So if we just form a three-wave move up like this, potentially moving up to even as high as this 32 194, it is still possible that we could just see this actually play out like this and then we actually break down. So we need to just be aware that for as long as we don't have good structure to the upside, we need to be cautious because these things that I'm looking for, these are all under the conditions that they maintain these lows and they also maintain these support zones. If we start to lose these, then basically these can't start to unravel to the upside here. And then basically our last defense is, like I said, this potential of actually finding the support lower down here in this range of this 24,275 to this 21,077. So keep an eye on that area. That's going to be a key zone if we do break down lower here. So yeah, I mean, we need to just give this a bit of space here. We were talking about it previously, for as long as we did actually break down here below this channel line, but we did actually move back up. So it is quite a strange shape now. We were looking for that possibility that within here we could see, something like a diagonal playing out to the upside, but we did come down a little bit too low for what I was looking for here. The only way that would make sense is if actually we're getting something like this in this area where this is a 1, 2, potentially we form another three-wave move up here, 4 and 5, something like this, and then these lines will change. And then potentially instead of looking at it from this high here, we could see something like this play out where we actually come into these wicks and we look to form a structure like this, in which case, potentially we could see move this around like that. And then this would basically become 1, 2, looking for 3, look for a fourth wave above this wave 2, and then potentially a fifth wave to the upside. So that's why I'm still keeping an eye out, within this box area here. Really, until we actually break out of it, I'm being a little bit cautious because this could actually end at any point here. Technically speaking, we've met the requirements to the upside here. This, like I said, if we're looking for this as an extended wave one, potentially we've got a little bit more to go here, but for the most part, we could complete into this high even, and we've got just a bigger corrective move that's forming here that hasn't actually looked to break down and actually invalidate this move as of yet. So that's what we need to be aware of. This could start to move up here, like we talked about. It is looking a little bit strong within this move, so we're gonna have to see if we fail to actually break above that area of that flat, which is here. we need to be cautious of this 28,659. If we just get a five-wave move up into this one-to-one area, potentially this could then actually look to break down for a five-wave move. So keep an eye on that. If we get a five-wave move down here, potentially this could be a bigger flat. And actually, what we've done is completed into here, and we're looking to come back down, lower down to that support zone, which would be somewhere in this range here of, let me just throw that on, this 25,756 to this 24,675. A move up into this area would and a rejection would not be bullish in my eyes, because these are some previous highs, and into this rejection zone. Let me just sort this out. So that would be looking at the lower end here. So that's looking at this low here and a couple of the highs off this zone. So, potentially a move up into this horizontal resistance, and a rejection could be quite bearish. The thing is, we are consolidating just below it as well. So, this could mean that we could potentially see this breakthrough, retest it, and then move away. So we're going to have to give it a bit of space. That zone is this 28,630 that I'm keeping an eye on. This is going to be a key area. If we can't manage to hold this as support and we actually break down after this, then that could be seen as a bearish sign here. But really, if we do break down in a bigger five-wave move, I would be watching out for this zone, because this could be a turnaround, where we do have this whole move as a bigger flat here, and then we actually look to blast through, and then that could actually give us that possibility of actually looking up to move as a 1-2, and then blasting to the upside here, where what would our target be? Just off of this, if we had to come back, say, to the 618 area, our target for one-to-one is there. Let me turn this 1.618. 32,257 would then be our area we were looking for, if we're looking at this becoming a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 to the upside. So we need to be aware that these things can happen. We can see these extensions, even within these waves here. We could be extending out, and it's just not clear yet. We need to just give it a bit of space here. But yeah, this 28,630 and this area of this 28,659, I want to see how we react here. Just get a three-wave move up in here. Then the potential is that we could see this flat develop. If we do break to the downside here in a five-wave move, what we need to be aware of is that we could also potentially count this whole move as completed at this point. And then, we could actually look to begin this move with this flat, form this as an A wave, form a B wave, and then look for that as a C wave to the downside, looking to actually come back down into this bigger support zone that we have lower down here, which is looking at this zone here. So, we need to be aware that this could start to happen. It doesn't have to start with a five-wave move. We could get something like a flat down here, and then this becomes a bigger W and X and a Y, and either we come back and look to retest these zones, or potentially lower down here in this orange box area towards this 24,275 to this 21,077. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on the bell notification so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.